What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 74. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. I'm joined, as always, by the Buckley's Buccaneer himself, Mr. Denny Rukun. What's up, Denny?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you? Happy Sunday, guys.
Happy Sunday,
Happy
my dude.
Sunday.
We are here, of course, also joined by the PlayStation Hokage himself, Mr. Rice. Boy, what's up?
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Good to see you guys.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. It's been a full but fun weekend.
I feel you there entirely.
Mhm.
On this week's show, of course, we're going to be talking about Ghost of Yotei. We're going to be talking about PlayStation's sequels. We're going to be talking about some K-pop demon hunters, and a heck of a lot more. So strap in and prepare thyselves for the show of a lifetime. But before we do all that, I'm going to start this week because I want to give a shout out to PlayStation Canada for inviting Console Creatures, and I was the representative sent to an upcoming collaboration here in Toronto between Ghost of Yotei and something else going on. So I was there on Friday. Got to try some cool food. I can't talk too much more about it, but for those who are interested and in the Toronto region, we're gonna have a write-up going up tomorrow on October 6th, kind of deep diving into that. So if you're interested for some Ghost of Yotei, some sushi, and a little bit of goodness, oh yeah, I'll talk more about it next week. But come check out Console Creatures tomorrow. Both our socials will have a little bit of a reel going live, and I'll have it right up on the site. So please be excited for that. But of course, there's somebody here on this here panel that's been playing some Ghost of Yotei.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Bryce,
sir.
let's kick things off with you. How you doing? What you been playing?
Absolutely. Straight up Ghost of Yotei.
Straight up.
I mean,
Down.
I had played maybe a couple hours of Borderlands, but as soon as I got my hands on Ghost of Yotei, thank you PlayStation, by the way, it has been an incredible experience. It's been super fun, so beautiful, just what I'd expect out of the game, and I have not quite finished yet. I'm I I told myself, yeah, I'm gonna probably stick to the story stuff, just the story stuff. Nah,
Never
bro.
happened.
Like anyone that
Nah,
knows
bro.
me knows that my brain is not wired that way. And so it makes sense. It makes sense.
But dude, the side stuff in that game is so well implemented that it
I
feels
think so
as
too.
important as the main plot. So it's just so easy to plug in and do
Yes.
everything else instead of mainlining.
Yes.
I have to ask because obviously you're a huge fan of Tsushima.
Yeah.
You were very excited about this game coming into it.
Mhm.
Now that you finally, hands on a decent chunk in, how we feeling? Because I'm gonna bring in. You know what? No, I'm gonna hold that question for a sec. After I'll
Mhm.
follow it up in a sec. But how are you feeling about it? How does it feel compared to Tsushima? Is it what you expected? Is it better? Is it like where are you at?
Mhm. You know what? It is what I expected. I have notes. I don't know that my notes would be fair at this point in the game, but the first thing that I noticed was like, okay, there are some things that are different in this game that don't necessarily make the experience lesser than or more. It's just different. One plus though is
Plus.
the kind of different ways that you can experience the game through a director's eyes. And so, kind of highlighting the different styles of these directors, I think is a really, really cool and cool aesthetic. And I think that a lot of people have really jumped on that. Now, in terms of like jumping into the narrative, you don't waste any time. There isn't kind of like a build up at the front of the game. Like you just know
You're in it.
you know exactly what you're in for, what the intentions of the protagonist are, and um, yeah, I think that there is a degree of predictability, um, which doesn't take away from my experience, but may be a deterrent for some people. Um, and I will say that right now, if you were to compare the two, Tsushima and Yotei, uh, I'm having more fun with combat.
Okay.
Um, and I'm having a wrestling match with myself about traversal.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, like the aesthetic of traversal and what that means for even just how the landscape interacts and the protagonist interacts with the landscape. I
Mhm.
think there were some things maybe that were a little nerfed or
Okay.
changed. But yeah, those are kind of my early notes into the playthrough. By the way, I am uploading sections of my playthrough on my YouTube channel,
Mm.
so go check that out if you haven't already. Building some more long form content through that means. Yep.
Make sure you go check out Rice's content in all of the means. I'm excited to keep talking about Ghost of Yotei with you as you progress.
Sir.
I'm curious. We'll talk off air because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But there
Course.
are points that really caught me off guard in the narrative, and there are
Okay.
points that I did see what was coming. So I'm kind of curious as to where,
Interesting.
in which direction you went.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that in the future. Danny, my
For
boy, what's been
Yes.
keeping you busy?
More Silent Hill F.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
I still don't know what's going on. I don't know the intentions of my protagonist. I don't know. It's just there's more questions and nothing is answered yet.
Okay. It feels very Silent Hill.
Yep.
Sure.
So I'm just chugging along. I'm stuck on a puzzle right now, but I'm sure I'll get through it. Just
The Silent
set it-
Hill puzzles.
Right? Oh, they're the worst. They're the
What,
best, but the worst.
What difficulty did you put the puzzles on?
Whatever the regular one is.
The
I think
regular
there's
one. Okay.
I
You're
might
brave.
have to switch it to story.
Yeah, I as soon as I'm gonna be hopping
so-
on that, I'm gonna be on dumb mode right away.
Yeah, I might have to do the same because I gave it a good. I sat there trying to figure this puzzle out for like a solid hour, and then I went and I did the shameful thing where I went ahead and looked it up online, and IGN's walkthrough was useless.
No shame.
No shame.
No
No
shame.
shame. Listen,
No shame.
who knows how
Exactly.
many of our moms took Tylenol when they were pregnant, right? Like
Exactly.
there may be a few ridges messing in the
That's what
equipment,
I'm
some smoother brains
saying,
than
bro.
others.
You just
No
never
shame here.
know, bro.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Definitely a
Yeah, no.
Tylenol
So there was
baby
that,
here.
and then if I'm not playing Silent Hill, I may have jumped back into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Finally.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
What?
but that's but like it's a thing where it says I need a little bit of it right now to keep me going because I don't want to finish it yet until we know when the third part is coming out. That one I'm
Mhm.
purposely
You're
holding out on.
deliberately blue balling. So
I'm
yeah, I get
deliberately
it.
like yeah.
Rice, I have a question for you. How
Yeah.
much of this do you think is just cope, and it's just Denny taking forever to finish the game, and how much of it do you think that this is actually
Totally.
intentional?
This is actually Denny saying I haven't booked therapy yet. So, well, this is what I'm saying on air.
Well, okay, let's Rice, let's run with it. Denny, I think
Yeah.
that's a good plan because that way you can kind of go right from Rebirth right into part 3, right?
Absolutely.
Because that was
The
the
urge
mistake
for
I
me
made
to
with
say
remake.
congratulations was like very strong, but I didn't.
I'm proud of you.
Hate you both. Why am I even here?
Because you're a pretty face.
So how does it feel coming back to Rebirth then?
A little bit of growing pains. Well,
what-
like hold on, yeah.
What brought you back? Because like again, you had mentioned previously that you were kind of waiting for the announcement to have like a clear timeline.
Yeah.
What pulled you back into the world of Rebirth?
Hmm.
I haven't played a little bit of Final Fantasy in a while, and I was just getting withdrawals.
Okay, a little antsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one to jump back into,
It
honestly.
is a good one to jump back
It's so
into,
good.
I'm saying
The one I haven't finished yet. So
it's okay. All
Yeah,
part of the
'cause you-
plan.
It's because you play the Final Fantasy that's not real. I'll let that simmer for a bit. Online.
Anyways,
got it.
got it. Get it. Got it. Good. As for myself, I reviewed Digimon Story Time Stranger. My review's up on the site.
Yes.
My videos there
Yes.
as well. I really love this game. It has its
Mhm.
problems, and I love it despite those issues.
Mm-hmm.
Combat, I genuinely think is better if you just drop it on the simplest difficulty, because it's like even I was playing on standard for a lot of it, and I didn't really have any issues with any of the bosses in terms of like survivability. But they jack the health pool up so high, and you kind of get into this rhythm where like you find the best attacks to use, and you're just pressing those ad nauseum as you're trying to knock the health bar off. And there isn't a lot. They sometimes change up that kind of meta progression, but most of the time it's you have the 3 that you pull in, those are the 3 that you're using, those are the 3 attacks you're going to use, and you just have to hammer the boss until you eventually drop it. So it's not even like it was an issue. It was a thing where like some bosses were taking me upwards of 20-25 minutes because like it couldn't kill me because I was playing around it. I was attacking it at like 200 to 300%
Sure.
increase over the base, but like it was just had so much health that I was just hammering it. So just little things like that were bothering me, but the story
Mhm.
is fantastic. It starts pretty slow. It takes a little bit of a while to get going, but then it really kind of kicks into high gear. And it's just it's a classic Digimon story. There's darker themes than you ever really expect coming. They do some weird stuff in a really great way. Dealing with like death and trauma and alcoholism and addiction. It's Digimon. They swing for the fences in ways that you never really expect.
Yeah.
And it's I was why I really appreciate the series. Like if you had to compare it to an anime, it feels like the adventure of the original Digimon Adventure and the kind of melancholy of Digimon Tamers kind of
Oh,
fused together.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they play with like the time mechanic in interesting ways where like you'll do a side quest for somebody. So it's a story about time travel. So I'm 8 years back in the past. I talked to this one Digimon, and he's like, "Can you go bust up those kind of bees, the beehives around? They're actually evil." So I'm like, "All right, bet." So I go and I bust up the beehives. When you come back 8 years later, the Digimon is now evolved, and he's like, "Yo, those bees are been looking for the people that destroyed their homes 8 years ago, and they are
jeez.
militant about it. You got to go take them out before they cause more damage." And then you go and find them. They're like, "You, it's you!" And it's just this funny thing where like it follows up on itself in cool ways. They do some pretty cool stuff, quality of life wise, where you can now convert and digivolve Digimon anywhere. In Cyber Sleuth, you have
Oh,
to go somewhere for it, but it does a cool thing where you have your core three and you have your reserve three. Those six make up your kind of travel team that you
right.
can access in battle at any time, and they all level. But all of the Digimon in your box also level. So it kind of takes the grinding out of it. Where if you want to
Mhm.
swap in a new Digimon, if you want to try something new out, or play around with your team comp, it's really flexible in letting you do that. So it's
I
really
love
fun.
that.
I'm having a blast with it. I've also been playing some Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. My review will be going to
Oh,
Buttwide
shit.
tomorrow. That game rules. I like it. I like
Hey,
it more than Mario Kart World.
that's what
It is. It
everyone's
is. It
saying.
is. It is just more fun.
Whew.
The map design is sick. The kind of warping through levels is sick. There's some really cool stuff there. I'll talk more about that next week, but go check out my review on But Why Though in the next
Sick.
couple days. Um, Without further ado, folks, let's kind of kick it into high gear. Before we kind of mosey on into news, I wanted to wrap one question as I meant to ask Rice this as we
Mm.
finished talking about Ghost of Yotei, but my ADHD brain slipped. We
Yep.
got a question from Naomi Lasagna
Oh, snap.
asking
Yo.
what similarities does Ghost of Yotei have with Assassin's Creed Shadows? And Rice, as I think the person who's played the most of both,
Yeah.
how are we feel in comparison wise?
Listen, I do have a love for the Assassin's Creed series, simply because I have been following the franchise for years. So
Hmm.
like Destiny, I'm loyal to that. But I think that Sucker Punch is so artistic in the way that they approach their map design and even just narrative and storytelling. It's pretty impressive. And so um I am enjoying Ghost of Yotei on a much deeper level than I did with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I do feel I was a bit chory
Hmm.
in that I was really just trying to uncover everything on the map and do every activity. And so kind of served its function in terms of giving me that fulfillment of completion.
Hmm.
But oh, that's a crazy statement. Um, but Yote really does add nuance and layers to what I was experiencing. So yeah, definitely a different league, I think.
Yeah, I do think I played about 10 hours of Shadows, and like I will say the kind of narrative setup is quite
Mhm.
similar in terms of like similarities between the two of these kind of like both are these revenge quests based on going after
Sure.
people that killed your family, but it's the way they play with those themes and the way that they play with the combat in the open world. I do agree with you that Shadows felt like it felt like a Ubisoft open world for better or for
Yeah.
worse, and people vibe with that and some people don't. And like, to
Mhm.
each their own. Yote, I think, feels much more purposeful in the world around Otsu, in my opinion. I feel like everything that I was doing felt important, while
Yep.
Shadows did feel more like checking boxes. Um,
Yes. Yes.
but
That's a good way of putting that.
yeah. Yeah.
There were some meaningful moments, I suppose. Like I don't want to take that away from Shadows.
Of
There were
course. Yeah.
moments that were really great, but they were moments and then they were gone.
Hmm.
And I do feel like this experience with Yotei is just something that continually builds upon itself.
Hmm. Agreed. Let's get into some news, folks. Let's kind of kick things off. We're talking about Yotei. Let's kind of kick things off with the big one. I wanted to talk about this because I saw this article making the rounds on the social medias, and I also want to shout out Jake Steinberg's podcast. He has it's called Critical Error. They
Oh
did a
yeah.
kind of like a big conversation about this this week as well, and I wanted to shout them out to go check that out over on YouTube. But there's an article that was on IGN that says, "I'm getting bored of every PlayStation game telling the same story." This is written by Simon Carty. And I'm going to read off the first paragraph, but we'll kind of talk about it more in depth. But Simon says, "I'm a huge fan of PlayStation's first party offerings. They've come to embody the sort of cinematic adventures I've always looked for when sitting down with the controller in my hand, feeling like genuine blockbuster events meant to be savored. But where in the past this brand of glossy storytelling felt like new ground being trodden, I can't help but feel that recently it's become the well-worn road. It's not just that all of PlayStation's major releases here adhere to a now trademark third-person cinematic stylings. The stable of developers has become seemingly obsessive with stories that explore the exact same themes, grief and revenge, and I'm starting to get tired of it. As a rule, these games are all impeccably well made, but I'm starting to miss the era where PlayStation's range felt wider and things were a little more fun." I wanted to talk about this because I feel like this is a kind of recurring sentiment that I see, and I kind of wanted to see where you guys landed on it because I will say, playing through Ghost of Yotei, I did have that feeling of, oh, this is it feels thematically similar to The Last of Us Part 2. It feels a little thematically similar to Spider-Man 2. There's kind of like range, and again, all like to God of War, Ragnarok. These are all incredible experiences to stand on their own right, but I kind of think that because of this generation being very sequel heavy and very little new IP,
Mhm.
and because there's been so few and far between first party games, we kind of have entered a very safe space for PlayStation's first party offerings.
Sure.
Astrobot aside, there's just obviously exceptions to the rule here, but I wanted to see what you thought. Rice, you've played a lot of these. Tell me where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is some truth here, and there's nuance to these conversations, of course, and you know, we want to be cognizant of the conversation of representation, and those perspectives add nuance to these stories, and that's important too.
Hmm.
I do get the sentiment that the narrative itself, outside of the characters that they put in, have been done before. You
Hmm.
know, these themes of grief, revenge. And I think, I truly think that we as a collective of consumers, a lot of us have also just gotten older, and we've grown with PlayStation, we've grown with these franchises, and so I think that these themes are also kind of timeless. So
Hmm.
while I do understand maybe this fatigue, right? That's also paired with a lot of other things.
Hmm.
I do understand that we all game for different reasons, right?
Hmm.
Some would say that it's just a pastime. Others would, I guess, argue to say that this is something they dive into for their escapism, and they want to go into worlds that are new and different, and not something that really mirrors our reality. So I do understand the sentiment, but let's say we are talking about the God of War Ragnarok versus like Ghost of Yotei. Um, there's an element of in there that may be unique to people who are parents.
Hmm.
Um, and so that layer is not necessarily experienced by others through the same lens. But I mean, like, I guess we're all children, right? But there
Hmm.
are these levels and layers of nuance that maybe only certain people can experience. So I'm not really sure where I land. I do think that the topic is important, and it begs the question, what do we want to see? What stories do we want represented in these games?
Danny, talk to me.
So, I'm kind of agreeing with the article. While I may have not played every single first
Oh, we
party
know.
PlayStation title, thanks. Um, the sentiment here is that it's the same thing as Sony's playing it safe. Maybe this is part of the blueprint of those
Sure.
cinematic third party experience games. But even in the article, and it got me thinking, if we go back just a little bit, a Sony first party game wasn't just anger and revenge. Like, yeah, okay, the God of War series, for example, has always been that. It's a story about revenge. Whereas, you look back at the first three Uncharted games, those were
Uncharted.
just,
Mm.
your standard Indiana Jones style, Tomb Raider-esque games. You had, Infamous, which was, their take on a superhero game. Um, and if you go even further back, right, they were always trying something different. Astrobot, I feel like, sticks in my head so much as a great game because it's so different than what Sony offers compared to what they have right now. And it's a game that we've all talked about, we've all enjoyed. Uh, we literally gush about it, and we're so happy when it won Game of the Year. So for me, it's like, yeah, there's space for a game that tackles these themes, but I think there's also room to have a different experience and
I would
still
agree with
have
that
that
too. Mhm.
PlayStation flair.
See, I'm kind of two minds about this because I do think there's two different conversations that are happening simultaneously, but at the same
Sure.
time, very interconnected, interwoven. Um, Again, all of these games are fantastic. I have loved each and every one of these experiences, but this kind of narrative, like this general narrative structure, is one that we've seen done with PlayStation over and over again with their first party things. And like you said, Rice, I think you kind of nailed the point about um, you know, representation and having different viewpoints in different ways to look at these and different
Mhm.
personalities and backgrounds and so on and so forth. There is a genuine value in these conversations and these perspectives. Uh I just kind of feel that like overarching a lot of these big moments are
Mhm.
very similarly played out. Now, context is entirely different, and maybe
Right.
when you're in the moment, you don't feel it as much, but there is this
Mhm.
kind of recurrence in this where I feel like PlayStation's first party, and I do wonder how much of that
Yeah.
is just the lack of a first party output this generation compared to
Mhm.
generations prior, where because we had Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima and this and that, and in the PS4 generation, the PS3 generation, we just had more.
Yes.
So the
Yep.
similar kind of feel of some of these games wasn't as in your face because there was more in between. Where in this
Right.
generation, we've had these kind of big tentpole moments be, and I do think kind of, accidentally built around the same kind of tentpole things because, like you mentioned, they are timeless and they are universal. And I do think also, the world in the last
Yes.
5 to 6
Hmm.
years has been a difficult place. There
Tough.
has been a lot of loss. There has been a lot of grief. There has been a lot of trauma. There's been a lot of feeling of maybe revenge about going up against forces that you might not be able to control. So I do think that this is also just a product of
Yes. Our
where the
time.
world has been in the last 5 to 6 to 7 years.
Yep.
Um so I do think that all of these things kind of congealed together, but
Yeah.
I do think there's a secondary part of this conversation that I don't agree with.
Sure.
Because in this kind of same breath, where I do think this IGN article actually handles itself very deftly and very, very well. I have to shout out to
Mhm.
Simon for this piece because his focus is on the narrative. But there's a larger
Yes.
conversation here about the similarity of the sequels, and this is where kind of my confusion
Mm.
starts to lay into it. Because and again, I don't mean this as a critique, but more as an actual question.
Mhm.
What does someone want out of a sequel to a game?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm playing Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2 to Uncharted 3, mechanically those games are all quite similar. If I'm
Yes.
playing Super Mario, Super Mario Bros to 2 to 3, those games are all mechanically similar. They're in new places, they're in new spaces, they're in new characters, they're in new power-ups. But mechanically, these games have a follow line because they have to. They're part of the
Sure.
same, you know, piece of the puzzle. So I do
Mhm.
disagree with the sentiment that Sony's sequels have in this generation have just been more of what came before, because for me, isn't that what a sequel should be? I'm not looking for a complete reinvention of what it is every time a new chapter comes out. Ghost of
Mhm.
Tsushima to Ghost of Yotei, Ghost of Yotei is exactly what I wanted from it. I wanted
Nice.
another samurai game that lets me play with the open world in a way that gives me different approaches to the thing, the samurai combat. This is what I wanted from it. So I
Right.
feel like to kind of say that these games aren't maybe creative enough or aren't different enough, or be like, oh, this is just like DLC for what came before, I think
Sure.
is a disservice, because isn't that just what a sequel is? Yeah, you want new mechanics, you want a different way to add to the world, of course you want things that are new, but
Mhm.
like, just like a season of a show to the next season versus a movie and its sequel, you're
Mhm.
getting, what you're getting into, because that's
Yes.
inherently what the first product sold you on. So that's what the second one or the third one should be. And if
Mhm.
I don't think Sony's alone in this. I think sequels inherently just kind of follow the same through line. Nintendo does the same thing. Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, they're
Yes.
inherently the same game with
Mhm.
more added on in Tears of the Kingdom. And Halo to Halo 2 to Halo 3, it's the same thing. So I just don't understand where the kind of shade is being thrown at PlayStation for this, when
Mhm.
this doesn't feel like a PlayStation
No,
problem.
it's not a PlayStation problem.
Denny, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it goes back to the thing, right? Like, or it goes back to kind of the initial question. Like, if you can argue that PlayStation games are all about, thematically, let's say about anger and grief and all of that, what's to say that, Xbox games aren't about fighting aliens and saving the world and uh,
Fighting
Super
aliens.
Nintendo games. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they all have like that stand. They all, like I said, I think it's that blueprint. And sequels, yeah, you actually hit the nail on the head, right? Like every sequel does what the original did, and maybe just a little bit better or a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. Um, I just think there is an option to have a little more variety, like maybe with different IPs.
Sure, and that's
Sure,
the thing,
sure.
right? Playing across the field is one thing, but when you're kind of in the same through line, that's where I get confused. Like, what do people expect out of a sequel that what we have now isn't maybe fulfilling that? Is it the narrative similarity across the board that's kind of bringing that? But like, I don't know, Rice, what do you think?
Man, it's so interesting because like that the piece that you had mentioned, like our where we are in time and culture and society, and even on a global scale is kind of it's interesting, right? And that truly, if you're a creative, and I know we all are like that, you draw inspiration from experience.
Mhm.
And the world had experienced these very unique things in these past few years. And I keep hearing people say, what a time it is to be alive, and
Mhm.
for a lot of, positive reasons, more often than not, people are complaining. And so it's important to note that people who are involved in the immense work that go into these experiences are people too.
Mhm.
And they experience the world too, in the way that so the inspiration that we draw from are from real life experiences. Now that said, um, the point you made about this generation of PlayStation being like kind of a little thin in terms of IPs and games and stuff like that. That has yeah, that has huge weight in this argument as well, right? Um, and another point that I wanted to make is that sequels are actually very hard,
Mhm.
right? Like if a game is great, it's actually easier for you to leave it as great than to try and top it with a sequel that has this new experience. And in video games, the industry itself and the relationship it has with its consumers, it's like food. It's very volatile, right? Like love it
Yeah.
or hate it, it's still a very subjective thing. So um it's interesting. It really is interesting because then there's the question like what are executives making decisions towards versus like what will sell versus what is like quality.
Hmm.
So it's a nuanced conversation that doesn't actually it's not one dimensional.
Hmm.
So I think that these themes they do sell in terms of whatever games you're playing right now.
Yeah, and so that's what I mean. I think like narratively, yeah, I think there's valid criticism there across the board. Like I said, I kind of struggle more with the idea of this like generation of sequels being more of the same. I just truly don't understand what you would want out of a
Facts.
sequel that's different. Pokemon is inherently the same game that it's been for almost 30 years when you boil it down to its brass tacks. There's been differences, there's been different places, there's been graphic switches there, but like you catch creatures, you make them battle, you're out on a journey to try and be the very best. You boil that down, that doesn't change.
No.
Right? Mario games are exactly, you know what you're getting into. While there's differences to Sunshine, to Galaxy, to Odyssey, there's entirely, but they're platformers. You know what you're getting into. It's like I think of like, the kind of fracas around Metal Gear Solid 2 when that came out, with with the rug pull that you weren't playing as Snake for the majority of it, right? Like when
It was still espionage, though.
that's what I mean. But when you're given these different experiences, people get upset. But when you're given more of the same, people get upset. So
Yeah.
I just there's obviously no pleasing everybody. And like, and again, people are entitled to their own opinions, and you're allowed to think, people are allowed to believe whatever it is that they want to believe. I just don't understand what people look for in a sequel if it's not more of what they had before.
Mhm.
Because isn't that the reason that you're coming back?
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Because you enjoyed your experience mechanically, you love the narrative, and so if you're in that world already, why change it? Don't fix it if it's not broken.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
that's
it is very interesting.
yeah, I don't know. That's like I please, I don't mean this as like a critique at those people leveling those criticisms, but I'm just curious as
No.
to like, let us know in the comments. What is it that you look for in a sequel? Because that's kind of my question here, right? If you're
Yeah.
somebody who has issue, narrative aside, I'm putting narrative in the corner. I think most people could agree that there is valid criticism there, if that can be levied. But like mechanically, to say that like God of War Ragnarok could have been DLC for God of War, or Spider-Man 2 could have been
Yeah,
DLC for Spider-Man, I think inherently takes away the change that those games bring, and the new story and the new perspectives and the areas that they kind of trot into, despite the things that do feel familiar and are familiar, because shouldn't they be?
absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's interesting too, right? Like, I mean, uh, reading through comment sections versus talking, let's say, with you guys or a community that I'm closer with, the answers and the dialogue that I have are quite different. I go to a comment section and I'm likely to read a lot of very reactionary stuff. Um, I think that people are drawn to that form of discourse in those situations.
Mhm.
But in more intimate circles, the conversation and the dialogue is much more nuanced. So, um, yeah, I think that everyone's opinion will differ, and I don't know that we can ever really tell if what we see people saying is indicative of what the people want. Because, like, for example, Ghost of Yotei, there's a lot of discourse on Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah,
Uh,
but there's plenty of discourse that's also just because girl in
I
game
I
bad.
know,
No,
it's
fuck.
so
I'm sorry.
stupid.
If your fucking problem with Ghost of Yotei is that there's a female lead, no matter what the fuck else comes out of your mouth after that, I
Just
don't care. I
yes, if you
genuinely
hear
couldn't
this,
give a
please
fuck.
leave.
Like, just get over it.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck's sake. But again, if you have, criticisms about narrative structure or similarities, like again, there's genuine value in having these conversations. It's just,
Mhm.
if your criticism is it's Ghost of Tsushima again, but different this time, that's why I'm playing the game,
Facts. Facts.
Facts.
Some people just
Some
wanna
people just
be
like to
a
hate.
contrarian for no reason.
Yeah, some people just like to, poo-poo in people's cereal.
Yeah, poo-poo.
All right, folks, let's roll into some and let us know in the comments. If we're wrong, please tell us. If you feel
honestly.
like if you feel like, the sequels, tell me what makes a good sequel. That's what I want to hear from you folks.
Right. Yeah. What do you want to feel like? What do you want to play?
Yeah.
What do you want to see?
What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, give me a Suicide Squad sequel, bro.
Yeah, bro. Give me PlayStation Plus for the month of October. Coming from the PlayStation blog. We got our games and they are spooky-tacular for the month of Halloween. Alan Wake 2, genuinely one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm not a survival horror person. Alan Wake 2 absolutely rips. This is a fantastic get for Essential. Goat Simulator 3. I genuinely
this alone right here.
This one right here.
This is it.
This
This
is
is the one.
And Cocoon. A darling little indie. Denny, how we feel about this month?
Goat Simulator 3. Enough said.
All right. Moving on.
Alan Wake 2 it slaps. Like, if you have not experienced that, you need to. Like, speaking of narrative and storytelling, that is Alan Wake 2, man. Friggin' rip that right now.
Rip that right now.
Simulator 3.
It isn't, unfortunately.
Hey, that could be us.
Probably.
Okay, Rice. Which one's which?
I think that I will take the one in the middle.
Okay.
Because that hair, bro.
That hair, bro.
I think that on the right side, that's Matt.
Okay.
Because he looks wise. And the one on the left there is Denny, because he's drank too much Buckley's, so he looks a little happy.
just happy to be here, bro.
That's me.
Yeah, I think this month rips. Like I said, Alan Wake 2 is awesome. Cocoon is a game I've heard a lot about. I heard a lot of people really love this game. It's a really interesting like indie game where you're moving through like layers in an orb, from what I understand. It's supposed to be quite beautiful and quite excellent. So for any like puzzle indie fans, I think this is one to kind of keep your eye on. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm not a puzzle person, like I said, my brain is smooth. But I may give this one a whirl. It's one that I've like had my eye on for a while. So
hell yeah.
And then of course Goat Simulator 3. What more
That's what's up.
do we really have to say? Guys, apparently in Goat Simulator 3, we can invite up to 3 friends in local or online co-op.
Is that
maybe this is our next stream game? I'm saying.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe we get Goaty. So let's do it.
I am so goated up for this.
Goated up for this.
So
let's stay on the PlayStation blog for this next story, because we are celebrating 30 years of PlayStation. This is written by Isabel Tomatis over at Sony. They're celebrating the first 30 years. They're dropping a large format photography book. This looks beautiful.
It's great.
This book looks so dope, but these sneakers,
oh my god, yes,
crazy. Crazy. They are gorgeous, and of course you can toss some of your own stuff on your socials. But this book is sick. But these sneakers, bro. There's 3 different types of sneakers that are each tied to the launch regions. So the Insta Pump Pure United 4s are for Japan, the Pump Omni Zone 2s are for the US, and the Workout Plus are for the United Kingdom. Whatever these ones are,
that's what I was looking at.
Fire, bro. And this one too. This high top,
the high tops,
fuck me up. I'm not crazy about this one, but I'm not really like
I mean that's whatever.
A low sneakers kind of guy, but this and this, bro.
Yeah.
These are fire.
I rock that so proudly, bro.
The high tops are the Pump Omni Zone 2s.
The high tops are, oh my god, what am I doing? Pump Omni Zone 2. Those ones are for the US.
So
hell yeah.
Yes.
So we might
get we don't get the middle one.
Denny, do you know which one
that
is?
I think that's the Workout Plus.
That would make sense.
So we don't get that one, or we do?
That one's for the United.
Sorry, I lied. The Workout Plus is
the
the sneaker right on the top.
This is the Workout Plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for the UK. These are the
Japan one. Yeah.
You know what? That feels Japan.
Yeah.
You know what, guys?
Out here making me swear and shit.
I think we got to go to Japan in October.
I think we're going to Japan.
I think we're going to Japan.
Again?
Bro, what do you again?
What do you mean again?
Never mind. Sorry. Quiet.
Listen,
out
we
loud.
didn't even finish Ghost of Tsushima, so don't lie.
Just get one less case of Buckley's this month, and you'll be able to go with this to Japan. Okay.
Okay. I'll try.
Are you on a list that you won't? Never mind. That thought will end now.
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
These shoes are dope. I want them, and the book is sick too. I might cop that
Yeah,
book as like just
same.
like a display piece.
Well, yeah, that's
Um,
a nice thing to have in the physical collection, man.
You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine
Yeah.
going to someone's house and like sitting down on their toilet, and then like
This is
that's
what
the
you're
book in front
reading?
of you? Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
I'd be there all
This is
day.
not a toilet book, guys.
Hey, listen, what we're trying to say is it's very versatile. You
Mhm.
can use this thing anywhere
Anywhere.
as long as you take care of it.
Yep.
No shit stains. but-
I'm never lending you guys any of my books. Never.
Do you not poop?
Ever.
I guess we're not real
Honestly?
friends then.
Yeah, seriously.
Speaking of things that Denny truly loves, let's talk about some K-pop Demon Hunters. This is coming from VGC, written by Chris Scullion, because K-pop Demon Hunters has arrived in Fortnite with skins, items, and a new mode. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I haven't touched Fortnite in a hot minute. This might get me to go back.
This
I
actually
would
got you to
cop-
think about it.
I thought about it. I'm not saying I will, but I thought about it. This
Sure.
might I would cop a skin.
Yeah, my son is singing all the songs like every day. I mean, I'm singing all the songs every day. So
Of course, yeah,
like,
same, bro.
yeah, it's fire. I mean, running around as Rumi in Fortnite. Yeah, bro. What's this new mode?
What's this new mode? Let's find out.
Horde
I didn't
Rush
really
mode?
Horde Rush mode, which has now been revamped as Demon Rush.
Oh,
So it's a mode that you fight endless waves of faceless demons
I am about
while also
that,
loading
right?
up on K-pop Demon Hunters inspired perks between each survival phase.
Yes.
Rice,
Yes.
if you had to put no,
What?
change the question. Denny,
Yes.
Yes.
if you had to put each one of us, the three of us, as one of the K-pop Demon Hunters, who's who?
I don't know, man. Mark, you're gonna be on the right.
Who's Mark?
Mark?
Who's Mark?
Who
You're
the
right.
hell
Matt.
is Mark? How dare you kick him out right now?
Mark?
Okay, bye, guys.
Mark is
Mark?
crazy.
What is my name? Wreck?
Bread?
I was gonna
Bread.
say Ryan.
Brian?
Ryan with an R. Come on, man. At least I got the first
Ryan.
letter right.
Jeez.
Okay.
And
So
you're Decker?
My name's Decker. I'm a cop with the Ohio Police Force. Okay, Denny, let's try this again.
Yes.
Who's who?
You
Me?
are gonna be are on the
This
right
one?
just because your shirt matches her hair.
Cam Zoe.
Okay. You're Zoe.
Um,
No, that's not Zoe. That's Mira.
no, Zoe's on the left. My
Zoe's on the
bad.
left. That's Mabby.
you know what? We'll just do it the same way the Ghost Simulator like lineup went. So it's gonna go from right to left. Matt, Rice, me.
Okay.
I
I'll take Rumi.
entirely disagree.
Oh, no.
Okay, what's the setup? What's
Who
the
do I,
setup?
who?
Let's
How
go,
did I
Matt.
offend you now?
I would put myself as Rumi.
Okay.
I
That's your
feel
half
like I'm
demon.
Rumi.
I accept
feel
that.
like I feel like Rice is Zoe. Rice is
I
that
also
this-
accept. Those are the only two I accept.
Right, Rice is Zoe, the bubbly, fun one, but like she can throw down,
She
and
writes raps.
that stank face, that's Denny written front to back, left to right, up and down.
That's Denny talking about Last of Us.
Like right here. Hold on, that's like a Buckley's pouch. That's got to be what's in there. So I would say I'm Rumi.
Yeah.
Rice is Zoe, and then
I
Denny
fully
is Mira.
accept this.
I'm okay
Okay.
with that. That hair is
Okay.
beautiful.
I know.
It is beautiful. You do have the longest hair.
Totally.
Talking about demons and stuff, let's roll into our
Mhm.
next story, because coming from VGC, there are rumors afoot, folks, that
A foot.
Prototype could be coming back after a Steam update
Gee.
added new credits. This is coming from Jordan Midler. An update to the Steam version of Prototype has added new credits and references to Ubisoft Connect, which could point to a re-release of the game. The surprise update has added references to a Ubisoft Connect version of the game, along with credits for folks at Iron Galaxy, the prolific studio behind several notable ports, including the Switch versions of Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Diablo 3, and Overwatch. Guys,
Sheesh.
I am amped. Prototype
Yeah.
slaps. It rips. It tears. It is so much fun.
All of it.
So if this is just like a remaster, like all right, fine. Like I'll if this is like a 1-2 bundle, bring it up to current day, whatever. That's fine. If this is anything closer to a remake, I am seated. I am locked in.
That's
Is
crazy.
is anybody else on the prototype train with me?
I would definitely play this.
Did you play it back in the day?
Not in its entirety, but I had a friend who had the game and I played it at their place and I'm like, "Oh my god, I need this game." I just never got the game. Yeah.
Denny, how are we feeling?
Meh.
Meh? Did you play any?
I mean, let's see.
Did you play
I think I played Prototype 2, but I don't remember because it was a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, these games have been around for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So, I think I did play the second one because I remember thinking it was dirt cheap, so I picked it up, but I didn't get too far into it.
All right. Well, let's see if it's coming because I'd be stoked. I'd be happy. I'd be
Such
happy.
a Mira answer.
Yeah, right. So Mira, bro.
It's so Mira.
So Mira.
Am I Mira?
You are Mira.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pink,
Sorry.
long pink hair.
Like if that wasn't a fit check for his napalm era, I don't know what is.
Napalm era.
Let's roll into one more story here before we hit some questions. There are more rumors afoot coming from VGC once again, written by Chris Scully. Sony is reportedly set to release an updated PS5 DualSense controller with a removable battery. According to Polish site ppe.pl, they say that Sony is working on a revised version of the PS5 Pro along with a revised DualSense controller. The PS5 Pro itself is going to apparently be a little bit more power consumption less. Apparently about 3% less power will be used. And DualSense is going to hit with the V3 apparently in November and is going to include a removable battery. Denny, you got that tech knowledge here. Talk to me. How are you feeling about this?
Fucking love this idea. Sony has been really good about the whole battery thing in controllers since the PS3. Like, I remember that you would actually give you instructions on how to replace the battery, like what you need to do, how to pop off the back shell, replace the battery. They've been very pro about that. This is the next step. And if you're giving me a hot swappable battery, that, instead of, there's been so many times where I've played something, or as Rice would say, looked at the menu, and my battery would be down to 1 bar, and I'm like, crap, I gotta go charge this thing. I'd rather just be able to pop in a new battery pack, let the other one charge somehow, and not have to buy 4 controllers. Yeah, put in a dock. It's great. It's smart. It gives an option to purchase larger capacity batteries as well. So it's a smart way to maybe make a little extra money as well for Sony. So I'm here for it.
I was about to ask you, do you think that this is going to go back to the days of AA batteries for these? Or are you expecting proprietary Sony batteries that are going to be a bit bigger, a bit bulkier, maybe runs you $50 or whatever? Are you expecting the AA classic route, or are you expecting proprietary stuff that?
I am fully expecting it to be lithium ion. Sony's never done battery AA's. And I think it would just be so stupid because that's one of the biggest things that people would rag on an Xbox controller is that you pay the same price and you're still getting 2 Duracells in the box. I think it is going to be, maybe some sort of proprietary connection, just slap them in, and you're running on a lithium ion battery.
Yeah.
So that would mean you're probably getting a new charging cradle, new
all the accessories.
Yeah.
That's it.
I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, man.
Tell me, Rice.
Because I've done this for previous generations already where I do have a cradle for 4 batteries. And it's just easy to kind of just be reload rather than my current solution is to just play it wired. And I just don't love that. I like the freedom of a wireless whatever, right? So with the exception of headphones, everything else that I use is wireless.
Yeah. I think this is cool. I think I'd be interested to see. Obviously, the biggest unknown here is how much the batteries would run. How much would a new dock be? How much would each battery be? These are obviously questions because I'm having Vita flashbacks where they had proprietary memory cards that were exorbitantly expensive for no reason.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
Tell me.
You've already got the contacts. DualSense here. You've already got the contacts on the bottom of DualSense you use your existing to charge on the cradle,
Mhm.
right? Who's to say you can't do that? There's so many third party like I remember there being like what was that brand? Nyko for the Xbox 360. They used to have those rechargeable battery packs and they just had magnetic contacts. So you could like either dock them with
Right.
it on the controller or just dock them as is and they just charge through those magnetic contacts.
Mhm.
I'm sure if not Sony, someone else out there will find a way to be able to reuse those existing charging docks because they made so many third-party charging docks that work that way.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
a lot that's already out there. So there'll be people like who will only want first party everything. Fine, great, go for it, live your life. But there's gonna be a
And
lot of
PlayStation
third
gets their
party.
money.
Exactly. And there's gonna be a lot of third party options as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of third party batteries too, because those are already out
Yep.
there to replace as well that are way bigger.
What do you think would be and I asked this like give me two answers here, Denny, because I feel like you know this shit better than Rice and I do. What would be a reasonable price point for a battery?
Yeah.
And what do you think Sony's kind of first person, like not first, like first party premium extra will cost you?
Tell us.
I think the battery itself to manufacture is gonna be stupid cheap because I can just see them taking the existing battery and throwing it in a shell,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
right?
margins would go crazy, I bet.
The margin would go crazy. I could see it going at most like 34, 30, $39 for a standard battery and maybe 50 for like a premium battery. That
Okay.
might have like another 500 milliamps, which is like what, 3 hours more gameplay?
Okay. I think that would be in the realm of reasonability. I'm worried that it's going to be more than that because the thing
More
is
than
like
that.
the closer you get
You
to a controller price, the less people will want to buy because
Yeah.
if it's $80 for a battery, but it's $100 for a controller, why not just
Might
spend the
as well
extra
get
spend the
20 to
extra
it.
get,
20 and get
you
a
know what I
battery.
mean? So it has to be like half price at least for it to
Absolutely.
be a reason for people to buy in.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, 100%. I agree with that. I think what you do though is you make a bundle out of it. You do 2 batteries and a charger for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it costs so little
Mhm.
to make one,
Yeah.
you would
Mhm.
still you would still sell.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll find out more about it officially soon enough if these things are slated to launch in November. So we'll keep you briefed as we find out more. Let's run into some questions, folks, because we've got a few in here that we're going to talk about. Anonymous Barista 007 writes in saying, "How do you take your coffee?"
I guess I'll go first
Tell me.
because
Ooh,
mine's very, very easy.
very,
Typically,
very Zoe of you.
very Zoe, right? Right?
Yeah.
Typically I would just take my coffee black. Um, I have ventured off into a realm of coffee beans that are really great quality. So I learned
Hmm.
that you can get some really nice tasting black coffee.
Denny.
If it's a cold coffee, a vanilla cold brew is always good. If it's a
Mm.
hot coffee, I don't know, a cortado?
Ooh,
Ooh, look at you. You go
fancy
to
boy.
cafes.
Yeah, fancy boy. Fancy boy. Yeah, I think I'm the same way, Rice. I'm a black coffee drinker. I
Mhm.
used to drink like the double doubles and everything, but when I moved to Korea and black coffee was the
Oh,
norm,
and
and I d-
coffee is big in Korea.
and I didn't know how to order anything with
Sure.
like milk or sugar, and I was just kind of forced to drink black.
Yep.
My taste buds realigned, and like similarly, my wife and I are big coffee people, so we we go looking for the
Yeah.
nice, she's really good at finding the nice beans. Um, yeah,
I need to send you some of our beans then. And
They're good
then
beans.
I would love your opinion.
please do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right now, we like the kind of place that we've been ordering to from a while is Detour Coffee out of Hamilton or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, they're
I'd be,
great. They're
I'd be
great.
curious to hear, to taste your stuff and you tell me more about it.
Absolutely.
Court Lalonde, what's up, Court? Writes in saying, is
Court.
the barrier to entry into console gaming becoming too expensive? Is console gaming becoming too expensive? Yeah.
That's
Yes.
yes.
I
I
think there's been a race to the bottom in the last little while. I mean, it's not a new thing because everybody, I mean, younger generations might not, but all of us here will remember the pricing of the PS3 when it eventually launched, and the sales were
Yeah.
so abysmal that they had to drop prices and kind of
Yeah.
realign. We're at a point now where everything is expensive, but
Yeah.
gaming specifically, like the best way that you could game is basically play on your PC or get like a Steam Deck that can run a lot more, so you get much more bang for your buck. But yeah, console gaming is getting more and more expensive, and this isn't a PlayStation problem. This is an industry problem because it's PlayStation, it's Nintendo. Xbox is, I don't know, eating trash out of the garbage in the alley and still charging you for it.
Yeah, what's on with that?
So I don't get that point, but yeah, man, like it's pricing people out, right? Like Nintendo used to be the company that wanted you to buy 2 Game Boys, right? The idea was that every one of your kids should have a Game Boy and it was priced appropriately. Now, good fucking luck buying 2 Switch 2s.
No way, dude.
You know, if you have multiple kids, like that becomes a shareable system, right? Not one that like
a lot of
Each kid
households
gets a Joy-Con. That's it.
in a lot of households. Can we even get a Switch 2? Period. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, let's just get a Switch 1. And even then,
Wasn't gone up in price now.
the Switch, yeah, exactly. So yes, it's expensive. But you make a solid point in that, like, we know that because we've lived a life of gaming, but new consumers don't know the difference. It's just like, oh, this is how much gaming costs. Cool.
Yeah, like games $100, like, you know, in Canada here, the PS5 and the Switch 2 and the Xbox is incredibly expensive to be able to play like anything sort of consistently. You know, you're either in a streaming service or you're picking up maybe a couple AAA games a year, if that. Because the thing is, a lot of kids these days, like if we're looking at the younger, are playing the free stuff anyway. You know.
Yes.
Yep. Fortnite exists and is still immensely popular. A lot of these things. So there is ways that, like, if you can get past the console itself being the barrier to entry, there are ways to play and enjoy it without spending a shit ton of money all the time.
Absolutely.
But you know, that is a higher bar now than it was before. And that's not specifically a console problem. That's an economy problem. That's a cost of living problem. That's an inflationary problem. That's the world as it is today.
We're part of the problem.
We're part of the problem.
We're all enthusiasts and we buy all of these things.
So they think it's okay to sell it.
So we reinforce it. So
I mean, like what there was a story going around this week that like the PS5 has been the most profitable generation, despite the obvious flaws with it.
Yeah.
So Oliver Twister writes in saying, are subscription services like Game Pass and PS Plus going to replace physical media in the future of gaming? Denny, talk to me.
Sadly, I think so. There's a convenience factor to it where you don't even have to go to the store to pick up your game or wait for it to be shipped from Amazon. You literally can load it up, go do your job or make a coffee, and come back and start playing or preload the game right off the service. It hurts because at the same time, it clearly takes away a lot of what we can do with the game or like, you know, for how long we can play the game, which is what really bothers me. But yeah, I think it's too convenient. It's streaming services and subscription services are going to do the same thing that happened to, you know, regular television. It's going to go the way of the dodo, and we're not even going to recognize
music as well.
Music, exactly. It's going to go. And it's going to be the same thing. Like we're all going to pay for different subscription services. They're going to mark up the cost, and we're going to say it's fine, it's cool, it's still cheaper than buying 5 games a year. And yeah, sorry, little doom and gloom there.
It is what it is. I think that is the statement, right? Like I don't think that we are going to sacrifice our gaming experiences to stick it to the man. I think that we value those experiences more. And like you said, convenience is the name of the game. Even over nostalgia, I think, at this point in time. So sucks, but it is what it is.
And it's the thing is like, you know, there was a report, and I'm just pulling this up in 2023 that like 83% of console games sold were digital.
Right.
And on top of the fact that there was another report that was talking about Sony sales specifically, that while they did have decently strong physical sales, the digital copies in terms of net sales made like 2.6 times the revenue. Wow. So if you're looking at this from the business side of it,
yes,
why, like, you know, they're doing it because they need the physical big box stores to sell you their console. But, you know, so they put the games on things. But if you make much more money with a digital copy, it's easier to toss them on sale because you own the storefront that it's on.
Yes.
It is easier for people to be like, oh, that game I've been looking for is on sale, or it's hit that service that I want. Let me subscribe for a month. They cut out the middleman. The through line is much easier. So yeah, like, it's an interesting position that the industry's in right now, because for the longest time it was the Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, and now there's been another price increase. There's more stories about how developers, the Game Pass wasn't the gold mine that they expected it to be. So it is an unfortunate situation that, like, physical media, I think you'll always have stuff like limited run games. You always have a lot of people who vehemently defend physical games, but like, I'm part of the problem. 9 times out of 10 I don't buy physical. Like, unless the game is something truly special to me. Like, I just copped Expedition 33, the steelbook that they're dropping, that's coming in December or whatever, because it's my game of the year. I love that game a lot. But like, before that, I can't tell you the last physical game that I bought for PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's just the convenience of it. It's just too much.
Yep.
It's too good. And again, that's good, but at the same time, one step closer to being those people in Wall-E where we're just stuck in chairs.
Yes.
And everything is delivered to us, no issues, no questions asked.
Absolutely.
One last question coming from Jushin. What's your favorite song from the new Taylor Swift album?
I have a take that will likely get Swifties.
Rice, are we aligned? Are we aligned here?
Uh-oh.
I have a take that would get me in trouble.
I think Taylor Swift is the most overrated musician out there right now. Full stop.
Tell him that.
Like, I do not understand the appeal, truly. And again, there's no shade to her as an artist, as a human. It is not for me, but every time I listen to or hear anything, I'm like, this sounds like a 13-year-old wrote it. And for people that vibe with that and stuff, I haven't listened to the Taylor Swift album. I have no intention to listen to it. I think she is grossly overrated, and I think there are much more impressive artists that deserve a tenth of the limelight. And that's my take. If you enjoy her music and you vibe with her, that's fine. But I've hit anti-Swift TikTok in my algorithm, and it's a place I'm happy being.
Bro, do you remember when she was? I don't know if you guys saw the videos, but when she came to Toronto, like, they closed off the highway, and there was like a full security detail around the car. Literally no cars on the road,
dude. Just
and I saw that, and I was like, "Ain't no way, bro! Like, why do you need that?" And and the concert was sold out. So,
and again, like,
the hotels were sold out the second the concert was announced.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like kudos to her for putting on like a truly generational run in terms of having like a 3 to 4 hour show that covers her entire discography. Like, truly, like, it printed money, but also like respect as an artist to be able to put that on when so many concerts are like 60 to 90 minutes and they turn around and walk out the door. But when what you're listening to is music that you'll hear on a commercial for The Gap, I mean, to each their own.
Exactly.
Couldn't be me.
Same. I respect the work ethic.
Yep.
And that's where that respect kind of ends.
And at the same time, there should be no billionaires. The amount of shit that she causes on this planet is truly should be studied. And people smarter than I, alluding to problematic MAGA and racist dog whistling across the new album is something that people, even if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you should probably be tapping into a little bit, because if that slide into despicable territory is true and is happening, then even that respect I have for you as an artist goes out the fucking window if you're a horrible human being. So get fucked.
Get fucked.
Danny, you've been quiet. Are you a Swiftie?
No, I'm not.
And it's okay if you are.
No, not a Swiftie at all.
So
I'm indifferent about her, but I was going to make a joke because I looked at the track listing. I was gonna be like, I don't know, man. Honey's a pretty good song. But
all I've heard from this album is one of the songs that has the lyric, did you girl boss too close to the sun? And that is all of the information that I need. I'm predominantly somebody that when I listen to music, the lyrics hit me before much else does. And that maybe I did girl boss too close to the sun, and that's why I feel the way that I do.
Please don't let it be Honey, because that's the one I was gonna pick as my joke track.
I don't know which one it is.
Well, she talks
Oh,
about.
it's called Cancelled. Okay.
She
Oh,
talks
ironic.
about her husband's private parts. You know,
What?
if you like that
I mean,
All right.
kind of thing.
okay.
Hypnotize me and open my eyes, redwood tree. It ain't hard to see. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He hypnotized me and opened my eyes, redwood tree. It ain't hard to see. Good for you, husband. Great job.
Redwood tree, cocky. Just again, if you like this shit, all the power to you. Like I'm at the point now where like I don't give a fuck what music people listen to you. You know, you like what you like.
You like what you like.
You like what you like. But when it comes to her, I'm just like I don't get it. I don't get it,
bro.
Like again, I'm not a massive Beyonce fan, but I think she's an incredible artist. She puts out incredible music. It's not my type of music, but I respect her as an artist and I respect the work that she does. I don't see it with Taylor's. Anyways, before I get this entire show,
Bro,
canceled,
you threw that's two huge fandom groups, bro.
No, but I'm saying
Oh, we're
Beyonce
done.
is not for me, but I
You're coming
respect
after
it,
us,
and I
Chris.
think she
No,
makes
I
good
hear
music.
you.
Taylor Swift, I would not make that same argument.
Both of their fans
Come
after us, bro.
come. I live in K-pop fandom and pop punk fandom. There
Yo,
is no
Matt's
light.
ready.
There is no light here.
I can see you. That's why you're roomy right now. You have your weapon out already.
I'm chilling, man.
Man,
That brings us
show
to the
your
end of this new
scars.
show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you so very much. As always, Danny, if people wanted to see and hear more from you, where could they do so?
I don't want to say it out loud, man. You might get us doxxed.
Hold on, real quick here. I'm just going to.
Oh, he's gonna rough it up even more, bro.
Wait, no. Just in case you can't see that Twitch sign behind Denny, I just wanted to, shout that out real quick.
Make it real clear.
In case you weren't sure. Yeah,
we can still read it.
Go find Denny at Instagram and Twitch at Denirukud.
That's right.
Rice, my boy.
Yes, absolutely. Just wanted to shout out the Beehive as well as the Swifties. You are all welcome here.
100%.
100%. You're all welcome here, man. We don't need to like the same stuff. This is how we live in a healthy world, okay? We love art. All of it, even though we don't like some of it, you know. See, you see,
Yeah.
You can find me on my
Redwood Tree.
Good save.
Rice BOYYY TV. If you could help me out, I am building my YouTube channel's long form content foundation. I'd love it if you would check it out, and if you do want to stick around, please subscribe. And yeah, I've been playing Ghosts of Yotei and Borderlands. You're gonna see a lot of that in the near future.
Go check out Rice out in all the spots and support the long form content. I'm a long form content person myself, so it speaks right into my heart here. As for myself, you can find my stuff here at Console Creatures, and of course you can find my words over at butwhythe.net as well. Everybody stay safe, take care of one another, be the redwood tree that you want to be in this world, and we'll see you next week. Peace.